It's 11:30 p.m., and you are standing in front of the refrigerator again, staring into the cold glow as if it holds the secrets of the universe. But what if the most revolutionary thing you could do for your health right now was absolutely nothing? What if you just closed that door? Welcome inside the human body, a sprawling metropolis populated by 37 trillion tiny, overworked cell workers currently drowning in a continuous downpour of sugar. Now, let's travel down from the brain into the gastrointestinal system to uncover another hidden marvel that only activates when your stomach is completely empty. Most people assume that when you stop eating, your digestive system simply goes to sleep. But clinical gastroenterology research shows the exact opposite. The moment your stomach stays empty for roughly 90 minutes, a powerful mechanical cleaning operation is automatically triggered deep within your internal digestive lining. Medical science calls this process the migrating motor complex, or MMC. Think of it as a heavy-duty, automatic street sweeper vehicle patrolling your gut. The MMC uses powerful electrical waves to sweep away undigested food particles, stagnant cellular debris, and pockets of harmful, overgrowing bacteria columns. According to clinical metrics from the Mayo Clinic, eating even a single bite of food, yes, even a single cracker, instantly shuts down this vital cleaning cycle. Hour 0. The final crumb is swallowed. Your digestive tract is working at peak capacity, breaking down carbohydrates into a massive wave of glucose. To manage the sugar spike, your pancreas secretes insulin. Think of insulin as a stern gatekeeper floating through your blood vessel highways, holding a massive key. Insulin's job is to unlock cells to absorb sugar for fuel, but at the exact same time, it snaps a heavy steel padlock onto your fat storage doors. As we move into hour 4 to 8 after your meal, the story begins to change. The initial deluge of blood sugar begins to steadily drop back toward baseline levels. While John is fast asleep, completely unaware, his body is executing a brilliant logistical transition, managing energy reserves without any external help. With no new food entering the system, the pancreas slows down production. The insulin gatekeeper finally packs up his keys and steps down from his high guard post. With the gatekeeper gone, something incredible happens inside the cellular landscape. For the first time in hours, the absolute lockdown on energy storage ends. As insulin levels plunge below baseline, the biological lock snaps open. The body fat deep freezer is finally unlocked, ready to be utilized for metabolic fuel. According to metabolic research from Harvard Medical School, this critical hormonal shift typically occurs between hours 8 and 12 of a continuous fast. By hour 12, Larry the liver has successfully deployed most of his stored glycogen to keep your blood sugar perfectly steady while you sleep or rest. But now, his storage levels are running critically low. Larry is running out of easy fuel, and the body must look elsewhere to sustain energy output. This is the magnificent moment of metabolic flexibility. The cell shifts from burning sugar to activating fat oxidation pathways for continuous cellular operations. 8 a.m. John wakes up. He has been fasting for exactly 8 hours of sleep, and his body has gracefully entered the initial zones of fat consumption. Instead of reaching for sugar-laden cereal, John drinks black coffee or plain water. This maintains his fasting state completely uninterrupted. Now we enter hour 12 to 14. This is the sweet spot where the body begins a profound process known clinically as accelerated lipolysis. Lipolysis is simply a fancy scientific word for breaking down stored fat tissues into usable chunks of energy called free fatty acids and glycerol. Data published in Cell Metabolism confirms that after 12 hours of fasting, fat oxidation rates can surge dramatically, turning your body into an efficient furnace. But weight loss isn't even the best part of this story, because as fuel reserves dwindle, your cells activate an elite internal maintenance crew. Welcome to hour 14 to 16. This is the grand finale of the short-term fast, the exact zone where deep cellular renewal takes center stage. This biological cleanup process is so powerful that the science behind it won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2016. The process is called autophagy. Derived from ancient Greek, it literally translates to one of the body's most ingenious survival mechanisms, self-eating. To understand why your body deliberately triggers this self-eating mechanism, we have to look past the bloodstream highways and step directly inside a working cell. Inside every single one of your 37 trillion cells, an enormous amount of metabolic waste accumulates every single day. Think of it as cellular household trash. This trash includes broken, misfolded protein strands and old, exhausted mitochondria, the cellular power plants that are now sputtering, broken, and leaking toxic particles. When you are constantly eating, your cell workers are too busy processing fresh energy to clean up this junk. The clutter just piles up month after month. But enter the 12 to 16 hour fasting window. As external fuel hits zero, the cell sounds the alarm and deploys an industrial cleanup vessel called an autophagosome. This cellular vacuum cleaner roams the interior cell space, wrapping up all the accumulated garbage, broken parts, and structural junk into a secure, tightly sealed pouch. Next comes the magic step. The waste pouch fuses with a lysosome, a biological recycling refinery filled with highly powerful, acidic digestive enzymes. The lysosome acid breaks down that entire mountain of useless trash, dissolving the broken components back into their basic, fundamental raw materials. According to data parameters from the Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institutet, this process isn't destructive. It's an elegant, highly sustainable recycling system. Your cells take those old toxic debris pieces and forge them into brand new, ultra-efficient building blocks to repair cellular membranes and structures instantly. By hour 14 of his fast, John doesn't feel sluggish or weak. In fact, back up in the macroscopic world, John is experiencing an intense wave of mental clarity. Why? Because the human brain actually thrives when the stomach is empty. It's an evolutionary survival mechanism designed to make you an elite hunter. In the fasting state, your liver converts fat tissues into alternative clean-burning molecules called ketones. Ketones cross the blood-brain barrier effortlessly. Ketones trigger the release of a premium protein called BDNF. Think of BDNF as high-grade liquid fertilizer for your delicate brain cells. Johns Hopkins Medicine clinical research shows that BDNF stimulates the creation of brand new synapses, locking down memories and boosting learning retention rates drastically. because that tiny bite triggers insulin secretion. The insulin gatekeeper sprints right back to his post, locking the fat cell vaults immediately. This brings us to the practical part of the journey. How do you actually set up a fasting protocol that maximizes these cellular cleanups without destroying your lifestyle? There are 3 primary scientific frameworks utilized in intermittent fasting clinical trials, each offering distinct advantages depending on your daily timeline logistics. The 16-8 protocol is the most popular strategy. You restrict all calorie intake to an 8-hour block every day, leaving 16 hours of continuous resting time. For most people, this is as simple as skipping breakfast. You consume your meals between noon and 8 p.m., sleeping through half of your total fasting period. The 5-2 method takes a macro approach. You eat normally for 5 days a week, but restrict intake to 500 calories on 2 non-consecutive fast days. Clinical trials compiled by the Mayo Clinic show that both methods are remarkably equivalent over the long term for reducing systemic insulin resistance markers. The best protocol is simply the one you can stick to consistently. Consistency is what allows your 37 trillion cell workers to activate their deep cleaning cycles. Remember, intermittent fasting is a powerful biological tool, but it is not suitable for everyone. Always align your plans with a trained healthcare professional first. Information in this video is for educational purposes only and does not substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or targeted clinical treatment plans. Please ensure you consult with your qualified doctor or primary physician before applying any lifestyle changes or metabolic modifications seen here today. Now that we understand the basic timeline, we must step even deeper into the microscopic universe to look at the exact genetic switches that flip during hours 12 to 16. The very first major milestone of this window is the dramatic downregulation of an enzyme master switch called mTOR, or mechanistic target of rapamycin. Think of mTOR as a construction foreman. When food flows in, mTOR is high, building new tissues. But when food stops, mTOR shuts down, allowing AMPK to activate. AMPK is the master fuel sensor of the cell. When it turns on, it hands a golden key to our cellular recycling crew, giving them full clearance to unlock the deep cleaning engines. This brings us to a highly specialized quality control process that happens inside your cells during the peak hours of a fast, a mechanism known as mitophagy. Mitophagy is the selective targeting and destruction of defective mitochondria. It prevents these worn-out power plants from leaking cellular toxins into your body. Through a process called mitochondrial fission, the cell isolates the mutated, toxic section of the power plant, snapping it off like a broken plastic link. The toxic section is instantly sent into the lysosome acid vat to be destroyed, leaving only the healthy, highly functional parts behind to fuel your body. A landmark study documented in Cell Metabolism confirms that these specific mitochondrial quality control pathways reach peak efficiency after 14 hours of fasting. But the cellular reset doesn't stop with energy plants. This prolonged energy deficit triggers an elite family of longevity genes known as sirtuins. Sirtuins behave like cellular mechanics. They glide along your DNA helix strands, repairing broken base pairs, polishing structural links, and reducing systemic age-related decline. Clinical documentation from Harvard Medical School reveals that fasting elevates cellular NAD+ levels, which is the exact premium rocket fuel required to power sirtuin activities. By activating sirtuins, your cells simultaneously throw a massive dampening blanket over your chronic inflammatory pathways, turning down global molecular friction lookups. So, inside this critical 16-hour window, your cells are simultaneously shutting off growth overload, launching intensive debris cleanup, and polishing your DNA structures. Which leads us back to John. It is now 3:55 p.m. His 16-hour reset is nearly complete, and his cells have executed a flawless biological maintenance campaign. For PM, the 16-hour timer hits 0. John has officially completed his fast, and his cells have successfully executed their deep house cleaning protocols. But now comes the most dangerous moment of the entire process. Breaking the fast. What you put into your mouth right now matters just as much as the fast itself. Stop right there. Flooding your sensitive, clean cellular system with a massive mountain of sugar and processed grease right away is a catastrophic mistake. After 16 hours of rest, your digestive engines and enzymatic machinery are running in an ultra-quiet, energy-saving baseline hibernation mode. If you hit them with a massive carbohydrate spike right away, insulin spikes violently, triggering a sudden, overwhelming shockwave throughout your system. This aggressive insulin surge causes your cells to instantly suck up vital minerals from your bloodstream, leading to dangerous drops in potassium, magnesium, and phosphate. In clinical medicine, this dangerous metabolic shift is known as a mild form of refeeding syndrome. It can leave you feeling dizzy, bloated, and utterly exhausted. To break your 16-hour fast correctly, you want a gentle wake-up. Start with a small, easily digestible option like warm bone broth or a handful of healthy fats. Pure proteins, healthy amino acids, and high-quality fats do not provoke an aggressive insulin response. They wake up your sleeping digestive cells without any metabolic shock. 30 minutes after your starter broth, you can comfortably move on to your large main meal, dense with high-quality nutrients to refuel your body completely. Now that you know how to break a fast, there is one final golden rule of intermittent fasting you must master: syncing your eating window with your circadian rhythm. Human metabolism evolved to process food during daylight hours. Our insulin sensitivity and digestive enzyme production naturally reach their peak efficiency when the sun is up. When you eat heavy meals late at night, you are forcing your body to digest energy right as your system prepares to execute its crucial overnight cellular cleanup programs. Because your internal insulin pathways are less responsive at night, late snacks cause blood sugar to linger longer, storing fat easily and disrupting sleep depth markers. To achieve premium metabolic results, aim to wrap up your final calorie intake before 8 p.m., aligning your eating window with the natural biological rhythms of the planet. While the cellular mechanics of fasting are profoundly powerful, a lack of clinical guidance can turn a healthy lifestyle shift into a frustrating metabolic roadblock. The most frequent error is neglecting fluid dynamics. When you stop eating, your insulin drops, which forces your kidneys to flush out water and essential sodium rapidly. Without incoming food carbohydrates to hold onto water molecules, your body sheds its electrolyte stores. Drinking plain water without minerals just dilutes your blood further. This critical mineral depletion is the direct biological cause behind the classic beginner symptoms often called the fasting flu: persistent headaches, muscle cramps, and energy slumps. The elite solution. Add a tiny pinch of high-quality unrefined sea salt or zero-calorie electrolyte powder to your water to keep your cellular voltage currents balanced perfectly. Next, we must establish the hard biological boundaries. Intermittent fasting is a profound metabolic stressor, and certain populations should completely avoid it. According to clinical criteria from the National Institutes of Health, this includes pregnant or lactating mothers who require continuous nutrient influx, and anyone with a history of eating disorders. Furthermore, individuals diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or those taking blood sugar-lowering medications must undergo mandatory clinical monitoring to prevent severe hypoglycemia. If you are cleared by your physician, do not jump straight into a 16-hour fast on day 1. Treat your metabolism like a muscle and scale up your windows progressively. Start with a basic 12-hour window for 1 week. Allow your liver and pancreatic regulatory pathways to adjust comfortably before expanding your fasting parameters further. During week 2, shift to a 14-hour fast. This gentle progressive staging ensures your cell workers scale up their enzymatic cleanup machinery without triggering severe exhaustion cascades. By week 3, your body is fully adapted. You can comfortably lock down the 16-8 protocol, unlocking maximum cellular cleanup and fat oxidation automatically. Intermittent fasting isn't about starvation or extreme restriction. It is an evolutionary owner's manual designed to unlock your body's latent survival architecture. By simply giving your 37 trillion overworked cells a structured break from constant digestion, you allow your metabolic engines to reset, renew, and repair completely. Close the refrigerator door tonight, step onto the path of progressive metabolic staging, and unlock the incredible science of the 16-hour reset today. Your journey toward metabolic mastery doesn't require complex chemical supplements or extreme caloric deprivation paths. It just requires structure. Let's lock down the 3 golden pillars one last time. First, give your body long, continuous blocks of time where insulin drops back down to baseline. Second, cross into the 12 to 16-hour threshold zone consistently to unlock the powerful Nobel Prize-winning mechanisms of internal cellular recycling. And third, wrap up your final meals before the sun goes down. Synchronization your lifestyle with the natural biological rhythms of the planet Earth. But what if your fasting window is perfect, yet your sleep patterns are completely chaotic? How does a lack of deep rest alter your cellular fat storage parameters? Click right here to step into our comprehensive breakdown of cortisol, deep circadian sleep alignment, and how midnight stress loops lock away your energy levels permanently. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to lock in your weekly pass to easy-to-understand, scientifically accurate health animation breakthroughs. Thank you so much for watching today. Stay curious, keep exploring the elegant mechanics of your metabolism, and we will see you inside the very next episode. The medical information provided across this educational animation script platform is compiled exclusively for broad public awareness pathways and structural understanding indexes. This content does not constitute, expand, or substitute for formal professional healthcare advice, direct medical diagnosis protocols, or verified clinical therapy interventions. Viewers must not rely on the information presented here as an alternative to structured clinical consults with your physician or other professional healthcare provider networks. If you have specific queries regarding any medical matter, you should immediately initiate direct diagnostic cross-examinations with your primary clinical consultant panels. You must never disregard professional medical advice or completely delay seeking professional diagnostic support due to historical data or content sequences seen inside this video track. Always secure targeted physical diagnostic clearances from your qualified local doctor or specialized primary healthcare facility network before launching any metabolic modulation schedules. Thank you for reviewing our comprehensive metabolic timeline analysis framework today. Take care, stay healthy, and choose compliance always.